So for today's session we're going to be using Adobe After Effects, and I'm just going to show you how to go from this. Let's just get this clip playing. So here's a shot it's been filmed handheld in front of a green screen. There's a lot of people in the scene. It's obvious in the classroom. The camera moves quite a lot, and we're going to go from that there to, all being well, this will play without stuttering too much, to this here. We're going to do it in 4 phases. So we're going to start with chroma keying it and masking it, which is phase 1, rotoscoping it, which is phase 2, motion tracking it, which is phase 3, and then attaching the motion track to our background layer, which is phase 4. If you've done anything like this before, you might think, well, can't we skip it all and just rotoscope? And there's a chance that we can, yeah, but I want to teach you the techniques. So I'm going to do it in a 4-part video. The first part is an introduction. We'll go for the chroma keying aspect. So we're going to start by making a new composition with the video clip. So what I've done now is I've dragged the video clip onto the little new composition icon, and then it's made a new comp that's exactly the same name as the clip. If I go composition settings, I can rename it. So I'll rename it Dave Jump, because that's what our person's called. Now the first bit of the clip we don't really want. I'm going to wait for the camera to come past the 2 heads there until we can see the green screen, and then at that point I'm going to split the layer. So I'm going to go edit, split layer. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to keep my effects onto this section of the video here. So I'm going to go into my effects area on the right hand side, and I'm going to choose, I'm going to search for keying. I'm looking for an effect called Keylight 1.2. I'm going to drag that onto my clip. In the effect controls window then on the top left, I can set the colour, and I'm looking for really part of the darker colour of the green, and at that point it takes out the green straight away. You might be able to see that there's some grey shading depending on how good the quality of the video is that's exported, and I'm just going to make a new solid layer, so layer new solid. I'll make it red or just something that contrasts, so like that kind of colour will work because nobody's wearing that colour. And I'll put that magenta underneath the video, and then at that point you can see how well the key is actually taken place. We can increase the gain, which will then cut into it and hopefully not take out too much of our character, and that's pretty good actually. If we zoom in a touch, let's make this window a bit bigger, and you can see that there's a little bit of transparency on his back, so we can take that back down a touch. You can work through the screen matte settings and clip your black and clip your white. And you can spend quite a long time working through that if you so desire. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to put a mask onto this layer, because I only really want to be working inside the green screen, because I need to cut out our 2 wonderful assistants and the camera. So with the layer selected, I'm going to get the pen tool, and I'm just going to go roughly around the green screen. So I'm just clicking and dragging to create the bezier. I'm going to go all the way down to the floor, across the front of our subject, and then back up the side, all the way off the screen at the top. And then that's just going to mask everything out, so we can't actually see anything other than the mask that we've put into play. So you can see there the edge between the 2 colours. So I'm just going to go back into this, and maybe I'm going to select a different part of the green screen. So let's try selecting that part there, drop the mask out. That's a bit better. I'm happy enough with that. I can work with that. I'm just going to drop the gain up a touch more. So that's the first part. Because the camera moves and our subject moves, we are going to need to keyframe the movement of the mask. So the way I got into the settings there, I just clicked on the little arrow to the left of the layer. I opened up the masks, and I opened up masks 1. I'm going to hit the stopwatch to turn the keyframes on. I'm going to go forward in time a little bit, and at that point I can nudge the mask in. The way that I do that, I get the move tool, I hold down the shift key. Well, if I don't do anything at this point and I try and drag that point in, it's just going to move the whole mask over. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to hold down the shift key and click on one of those points, and it deselects it. And then I can click it again to select it, and then at that point I can just work with these individual points. So let's nudge that in. We don't need to be too accurate for this, because we're going to do a bit more to cut him out in a second. And then at that point there, his arm's going to go out of shot, so I'm just going to nudge it just before it goes out of shot, so we get a keyframe, then it's gone way out of shot, and annoyingly it comes off the green screen, and then he jumps out of the shot while he jumps up into the sky. Let's just check that he stays in the mask. I'm going to need another point. Just going to need to drag that over a little bit more there. I'm just dragging through time nice and gently. Okay, so that's our shot there. Now if we want, we can program him at this point to leave the screen, which we'll do shortly. We'll save that for a later phase. So that's the green screen aspect complete. Let's just click off the mask, play that through. So we're just going to see that background layer, then he'll appear, then he's going to jump up. And that's phase 1.